Boundaries aren't limitations. They're actually the secret ingredient for unlocking your full potential. Now, most of us instinctively view boundaries as restrictive, as something that holds us back. We believe that complete freedom to explore in any direction or pursue any idea will lead to our best work. But honestly, this couldn't be further from the truth. Without well-defined, purposeful boundaries, we drift into places where we shouldn't be spending our time and energy. We create content that lacks focus. We build solutions that are unnecessarily complex. We chase tangents that don't serve our core objectives. The reality is that boundaries create focus, and focus creates growth. Think about a website development project. When you establish clear parameters around database structure, character counts, mobile responsiveness, and visual design requirements, you're not limiting creativity. You're actually channeling it into the most effective direction. It's those very constraints that force the clarity of thought and purposeful decision making that lead to the most elegant, usable solution. And these well-defined boundaries reduce cognitive load dramatically. Instead of making the same decisions repeatedly or questioning every possible direction, you operate within a framework that keeps you on track. Your mental bandwidth is preserved for high-value creative work rather than exhausted by endless new directions and unimportant choices. So, why does this matter? How can you apply this concept to your own work? Start by evaluating your current workflows. Where are you operating without sufficient boundaries? Where are you consistently getting pulled off track or spending energy in areas that don't align with your objectives? Now, take the time to establish clear, purposeful boundaries based on your experience and the lessons you've learned along the way. These aren't arbitrary restrictions, but rather intentional frameworks designed to keep you focused on what matters most. For example, you might set boundaries around the types of projects you accept, the scope of services you offer, or even the amount of time you allocate to specific tasks. Each boundary serves as a guardrail that keeps you moving in the right direction. And when you craft these well-defined boundaries, you'll find yourself making fewer decisions and staying more focused on the tasks at hand. You'll avoid those rabbit holes that seem valuable in the moment, but ultimately waste your time and energy. Ironically, the most surprising benefit is that boundaries actually enable greater creative freedom. That's because they provide a defined space within which you can fully explore possibilities without becoming overwhelmed by unlimited options. Like a sonnet's strict form that paradoxically allows for beautiful creative expression. Your boundaries create the structure needed for innovation to flourish. I'm a firm believer that simplicity almost always wins. And the fact is, boundaries and simplicity are intimately connected. By establishing clear parameters, you naturally gravitate towards simpler, more elegant solutions that are easier to understand, implement, and maintain. So, take the time to craft your boundaries. Define the frameworks within which you'll operate. Be intentional about where you'll focus your energy and where you won't. The result will be greater productivity, reduced stress, and ultimately, significantly better outcomes for both you and those you serve. And as always, thank you for listening. And if you want to learn how to turn your expertise into consistent brand-aligned content, visit remotebrand.com to learn how I can help.